Do not adjust your set. We're doing a weird one. I know it's a shock, but try to keep yourself grounded, because it's time for the basics on KremZeek! KremZeek was an original character created in 1985 by writer David Wise for the Transformers animated series. He was a tiny, hyperactive imp made of pure living energy, whose vocabulary consisted mainly of him shrieking his own name over and over. A playful creature whose idea of fun was to cause as much trouble for others as possible, he could enter any electrical system, taking control of machines or scrambling their circuits, often with explosive results. Wise had two major inspirations for KremZeek. The titular monsters from the 1984 movie Gremlins, who were themselves based on folkloric tales of mischievous creatures that loved to cause malfunctions in machinery, and 20th century power company mascot Ready Kilowatt, a living bolt of cartoon electricity. Early designs for KremZeek leaned more in the direction of the former, imagining him as a grotesque, hairy ape lizard, but the character's finished look wound up being much more cute and cartoonish like Reddy. KremZeek's episode, which was simply titled KremZeek, was one of Wise's favourites. He called it his Roadrunner episode, a chaotic comedic chase story that was much more deliberately silly than the show's usual fare. In the episode, KremZeek was created by Megatron and unleashed on the Autobots to keep them busy while the Decepticons used their new energy magnet to drain power from Earth. The little pest took most of the Autobots out of action by scrambling their circuits, except for a small handful whose bodies were protected with an insulating compound by human ally Sparkplug Witwicky. After wrecking their headquarters, KremZeek used the Autobots' Sky Spy satellite to broadcast himself to Tokyo and began causing havoc in the city. The Autobots gave chase, and with the help of Dr. Soji Yoshikawa, Blaster was able to capture KremZeek in his chest compartment. Blaster attempted to overload the imp with his own power supply, but the influx of energy only caused KremZeek to multiply into a multicolored horde that scattered across the city. Hoping to convince the KremZeeks to recombine, the Autobots lured them all to a power station, but once gathered, they wound up fusing into a gigantic KremZeek kaiju. Figuring out how to kill two birds with one stone, the Autobots used a radio antenna to ensnare the giant KremZeek and broadcast him straight to the Decepticons' energy magnet, destroying the device. The threat dealt with, the Autobots were forced to conclude that KremZeek had to be destroyed, and reluctantly used a broadcasting antenna to disperse his energy, reducing him to nothing. However, this somber mood didn't last long, as the episode ended with the revelation that a single KremZeek had survived, and the Autobots were going to have to do it all over again. KremZeek wasn't the first cartoon script David Wise wrote about a tiny, tech-disrupting energy creature. The 1984 He-Man and the Masters of the Universe episode, Day of the Machines, also featured such a beast, but it was a straight adventure that didn't share many similarities with KremZeek beyond that. However, Wise would recycle the comical plot of KremZeek wholesale for future series. The story of the villains unleashing a gremlin on the heroes, which multiplies and recombines into a giant that the heroes then use to foil their enemies' plans, ending on the gag that one of the duplicates has survived, was seen again in the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode, The Big Zip Attack, then again in the 1996 Mighty Ducks episode, Zap Attack. As for KremZeek himself, the offbeat nature of his episode made the imp a memorably weird and fun part of the cartoon's lore, and earned him multiple repeat appearances in new Transformers series in the 21st century. The story of the cartoon was directly continued in the 2006 Japanese exclusive series Kiss Players, which revealed that in the intervening 20 years, Dr. Yoshikawa had studied and bred KremZeeks in captivity, and even found a way to weaponize them, developing guns for the Earth Defense Command's man-made Transformer drone soldiers, the Autoroopers, which fired KremZeek bullets able to immobilize enemy Transformers. The KISS Players toy line included the first ever toy of KremZeek, which came as an accessory with the Autoruper figure. More KremZeek toys would follow, with 2007's Masterpiece Megatron, 2019's Siege Refractor Reconnaissance Team, and 2022's Super 7 Ultimates Megatron. One of the ways KremZeek often appears is as an Easter egg snuck into stories for fans to spot, usually as a sort of in-universe mascot character, like Reddy Kilowatt, who appears on products and signs. This trend began in Dreamwave Productions comic books, which in 2004 featured cans of a Cybertronian drink that sported the image of KremZeek on their sides. This beverage would continue to appear in IDW Publishing's comic books through the 2010s, where it was given the name K-Juice. It was in this capacity as an Easter egg that KremZeek returned to television, popping up in the 2008 Transformers animated episode Sound and Fury as a cartoon character on a TV station's technical difficulties card. However, a true animated version of KremZeek would later be introduced by official convention BotCon in 2015 in the comedy script reading The Return of Blur. In this story, KremZeek was a Decepticon doomsday weapon created by Shockwave and had lain dormant on Cybertron since the end of the war. Accidentally reactivated by Sari Sumdak, he almost destroyed the planet, until Sari and her Cybertronian classmates managed to contain him. KremZeek has also appeared in video games, including 2015's Transformers Devastation, in which collecting hidden KremZeeks throughout the game would unlock a gallery of artwork, and the mobile games Earth Wars and Angry Birds Transformers, in which the imps served as accessories that could be equipped to enhance player characters' abilities. KremZeek isn't always a silly little sprite though. Some tongue-in-cheek stories have had fun reinventing him as a terrifying threat of cosmic proportions. In 2016, he appeared in IDW's Transformers vs. G.I. Joe comic book as the Devourer of Souls, a demonic creature who stalked the spirits of dead Transformers as they journeyed through the afterlife. 2019's Ghostbusters Transformers crossover miniseries reimagined him as KremZeek the Scavenger, an alien energy being who travelled from world to world looking for new sources of power. He came to Cybertron in search of the powerful life-giving relic, the Allspark, but arrived too late. The Autobots had taken the relic off-planet, and the Decepticons had been prevented from following them by an attack from the ancient planet-destroying god, Gozer the Gozerian. KremZeek agreed to save the Decepticons from Gozer by using his powers to turn them into energy ghosts, in return for their help hunting the Autobots down. The villains eventually located the Autobots on Earth, but there, KremZeek was defeated by their new allies, the Ghostbusters, who unleashed a ghost that fed on electricity upon him, shorting him out and dispersing his energy. Still, it's obvious that KremZeek will always return to his goofy roots, as proven by the recent announcement of a new figure in the Bloodbots toy line, which transforms from a toy gun based on Megatron's classic pistol mode to a robot with KremZeek's face. Bloodbots is a series all about tiny, fun-loving, troublemaking Transformers, so KremZeek fits in perfectly. Still the face of fun and mischief in the world of the Transformers after all these years. And those are the basics on KremZeek. For more weird stories from the far corners of the Transformers universe, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you support the series on Patreon, you can get early access to new episodes.